no houses, no tools made of metal, no fireproof shelter, just this raw, brutal heat. So how did Stone Age humans survive temperatures that could kill in hours? No blueprints, no written knowledge, just instinct, trial and error passed down for generations. And some of these ancient survival tricks still shape how we live today. Let's go back tens of thousands of years and see exactly how they did it. The first challenge was simple. Direct sunlight was dangerous and there was nowhere to hide. So the earliest survival rule was easy to guess but hard to find. Get out of the sun. Caves and rock overhangs became the very first shelters from extreme heat. Stone holds its temperature. Deep inside a cave, the air stayed cool no matter the season. That natural insulation made caves one of the most reliable heat shelters on Earth. But not every group had a cave nearby, so they built their own shade instead. Simple shelters made from branches, grass, and animal hide blocked direct sunlight. Even a thin layer of shade could drop the felt temperature dramatically. These shelters were loosely woven on purpose, letting air pass while still blocking sun. Groups often built shelters close together, sharing shade and watching for danger. Some groups went a step further and dug directly into the earth itself. Shallow pit dwellings used the earth's natural coolness as built-in insulation. Just a meter or two underground, temperatures stayed far more stable than the surface. A simple roof of soil and brush kept direct sun from ever reaching inside. It's the same idea that keeps modern basements cool, just without any tools at all. Water was the next lifeline, and it did more than just stop thirst. Splashing water on the skin cooled the body fast through simple evaporation. Camps were almost always built near water, both to drink and to cool the air nearby. Moving air over water even lowered the temperature of the whole surrounding camp. Hollowed gourds, shells, and skins became humanity's first water containers. Some containers, kept slightly damp, cooled the water inside through evaporation too. Trees offered another kind of shelter, one that required no building at all. A thick canopy blocked most direct sunlight, while still allowing air to flow freely. Groups likely rested beneath trees during the harshest hours of daylight. Wherever shade existed naturally, life gathered around it. Timing became just as important as shelter. The sun had a rhythm and so did they. During the hottest midday hours, movement slowed to almost nothing. Hunting, gathering, and travel were pushed to early morning and late evening instead. Cooler hours meant safer, more efficient movement across open, exposed ground. Even fire use shifted, mostly reserved for cooking and warmth after sunset. One surprisingly effective trick was coating the skin itself with mud or clay. A layer of dried mud reflected sunlight and slowed moisture loss from the skin. It also helped block biting insects, drawn to sweat during the hottest hours. Later, this same layer could simply be washed away near the nearest water source. Clothing choices mattered too, even with only animal hide and woven plant fiber available. Loose wraps allowed air to move underneath, carrying sweat and heat away from the body. In the harshest conditions, some groups likely wore very little at all, letting skin breathe freely. Woven grass and plant fiber coverings offered shade without trapping body heat. Simple windbreaks were angled carefully to funnel passing breezes toward resting areas. Even without understanding airflow scientifically, they learned to shape it by trial and error. A well-placed rock or wall could turn a still sweltering camp into a breezy one. Stone Age people also watched animals closely, learning heat survival by observation. Animals rested in shade through midday and moved only in the cooler hours. Humans copied this rhythm almost exactly, syncing their own days to the same pattern. Animal tracks even helped lead groups toward hidden water sources during dry seasons. Inside rock shelters, groups learned to manage fire placement carefully. Fires were kept near entrances, so heat and smoke didn't build up inside the cooler space. This let them cook and stay warm at night without ruining their daytime cool refuge. Camp locations were chosen with real care, not just convenience. Higher ground often caught more breeze, while low valleys trapped stagnant heavy heat. Over generations, this kind of location knowledge became passed down survival wisdom. None of this knowledge came from books. It came from elders teaching the young. Children learned by watching, copying, and slowly refining each technique themselves. Small improvements accumulated slowly, generation after generation, refining every method. What started as rough guesswork became remarkably effective engineering over time. Extreme heat also meant extreme scarcity. Food and water didn't come easily. Groups learned which roots and tubers stored water underground, even in dry seasons. These buried water sources could mean survival when open water was nowhere to be found. Even reading the ground itself, cracked mud and darker soil could reveal hidden moisture. Their bodies adapted too, not just their behavior. Over long stretches of time, human bodies evolved highly efficient sweat glands. Reduced body hair let that sweat evaporate quickly, cooling skin far faster than fur-covered animals. Even a taller, leaner build helped expose more skin surface to cooling air. Biology and behavior worked together, shaped by heat over hundreds of thousands of years. So what connects every single one of these survival tricks? First, find or build shelter that blocks the sun completely. Second, stay near water for drinking, cooling, and evaporation. Third, move during cooler hours and rest completely through the hottest ones. Fourth, use airflow deliberately through location, shape, or loose clothing. And fifth, observe nature closely and copy what already survives successfully. 5 simple principles, discovered independently by scattered groups across the ancient world. And here's the surprising part. These exact same principles are still used today. Modern earth-sheltered homes still use underground insulation, just like those first pit dwellings. Deep roof overhangs still block harsh summer sun, exactly like ancient rock shelters did. Even outdoor misting systems today rely on the exact same evaporation trick as a muddy water hole. Loose, breathable clothing is still considered the smartest choice in extreme heat. No tools, no writing, no modern science, and yet they figured almost all of it out. Through patience, observation, and generations of trial and error, they turned deadly heat into something survivable. They didn't need machines. They needed shelter, water, timing, and shared knowledge. So the next time the heat feels unbearable, remember, humans have been solving this for a very long time. Long before electricity, long before writing, long before anything we'd recognize as civilization. If you found this fascinating, there's a whole world of Stone Age survival left to explore. Subscribe to see how ancient people survived freezing winters, floods, and famine too. And let me know in the comments, which survival trick surprised you the most? Was it the underground pit dwelling? The mud-coated skin? Or something else entirely?